Okay, so we are live. Welcome, 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 everyone, to the tip of the month for October with Move the Crowd. We're happy to have you here. So as folks are joining, just in case you're brand new to Move the Crowd, and this is your first tip of the month, because I know there are a few of you out there. My name is Dana Balicki, and I'm an engagement strategist with Move the Crowd and a transformational coach. I'm also an alumni of Move the Crowd, and I'll tell you about what that means in a second. But if you're here because you're passionate about turning your work into a vehicle for personal growth and creative expression and financial freedom, right, and even real social impact, then you're in the right place, right? Because that's what Move the Crowd is all about. And Move the Crowd really provides entrepreneurial training to next generation movers and shakers, right? This isn't about age. This is about, you know, if you're an established professional or even just dreaming of your next move, that we're really here to help you harness your values, your creativity, and your passion to change the world and to get paid doing it, right? So that's our true paid good motto. And those interested in staying true, getting paid, and doing good, that's who we want to serve. And we're different from other business schools, B school, and other leadership trainings, and other coaching models in that. And this is an important distinction for us, that we're really dedicated to creating transformative experiences that elevate the whole person and that celebrate the entrepreneurial spirit that really lives within us all. And so as you'll experience tonight, we do this by working from the inside out, and that's really like working with mindset and skill set to help you achieve your own unique flavor of success. And so just one more quick thing before I introduce Rha Goddess, the CEO and founder of Move the Crowd, is just that the sort of deepest, most intensive offering for those looking to really transform their lives and the world around them is the True Paid Good Academy, right? So I went through the True Paid Good Academy. There are others watching right now who are current Academy members, who are alumni, and this is a sort of our most intensive body of work. And then there's also all of these other ways that you can, interact with us, like being here this evening for the tip. Choose love. And, what does that have to do with your business? It has everything to do with your business. So I'm going to turn it over to the lovely Rha Goddess, CEO and founder of Move the Crowd, entrepreneurial soul coach. And after this evening, you'll understand why. And we'll share the space together until about 8 o'clock. We go a little over if we've got quite a few questions in the queue. So I hope you enjoy. And it's Rha Goddess.
Thank you so much, Dana. And hey, everybody, it's so good to be with you tonight. And I just want to give a big shout out to all of the members of our Academy and alumni community and those who hung out with us and represented this last Saturday at our live mastermind. Woo, woo, it was amazing. And big up to Josh Nauer, big up to Monica Moss, Josh Van Vliet, for really holding it down in the context of what I believe was an incredible learning and growing and transformative experience. And that's kind of what it is when we come together. We go deep on community because that's just who we are. I'm so excited to be talking about this month's theme tonight. And it was so funny because when Dana and I were in the conversation about what this month's theme was, I was like, girl, I could go on and on and on and on about this one. And it's really near and dear to my heart because I'm at a stage in my life where my greatest aspiration is to be free and to operate in a way where I feel like I am wholly myself, no matter where I'm standing, no matter who I'm standing with, no matter what I am engaging. And, life will bring you, especially as entrepreneurs, right, when you're building a venture, and no matter what stage you're in, and we're going to talk about the different stages in a minute, but no matter what stage you're in, there's always this kind of roller coaster, or the potential to have this kind of roller coaster experience of life as circumstances and situations and what had happened was this find you, right? And what I want you to know is that we're always choosing. We're always choosing. And if we own that and we honor that and we agree with that, then the question is, what do we want to choose, right? What do we want to choose in our life? What do we want to choose in our ventures? And so, we're at the point in the course of the year where this is sort of the harvesting season, right? So if you think about, January at the top of the year, you're setting your goals, your aspirations. This is what you're going to accomplish. This is what you're going to make happen this year, right? In the context of what you're building. And as you get to kind of this point in the year and you sort of survey the field of your life and your venture, I want to assert to you that there may be three things that are going on, right? Three potential things that could be going on. So one is you could be looking out over your field and you could be seeing some really gorgeous vines and blossoms unfolding that represent the fruit of your labor and, all that hard work, all those months that you kind of had your head down, or all those years, right, for many of us where you had your head down, are starting to pay off, and you can feel the momentum of the dream as it's tipping towards becoming a reality and really a part of your day-to-day, right? So that's one potential scenario that may be happening as you're surveying the field. And then the second potential scenario that may be happening is that you're looking out over the field and you can kind of see some sprouts and some twigs and, maybe a little half a flower happening and, and your thing is happening, but it needs some love, right? It needs like more water. It needs more sunlight. So that may be like relationships need a little bit more cultivating. You may need to refine or reconfigure or sort of tweak some things in order to add more life and energy to what you're building and what you're mastering. But your field is coming along. It may be coming along a little slower than you had initially hoped, but it's coming along nonetheless, and your opportunity and your job may be to just lean in and bring a little bit more love, right? And then the third thing that could be happening is that you are looking out into your field, and after all of your effort and all of your toiling year to date, you ain't seeing nothing. And maybe the soil looks a little dry, a little crusty. And it's not making sense, right? Because you've been working hard. You've been putting in the time and putting in the energy, right? And what may be really happening there is that you need to recalibrate. You need to do some soul searching. You need to realign, re-envision. You need to reground and get really, really clear. And you may need to actually clear and cleanse and purge the field and turn the soil and actually start over, right? And so wherever you may find yourself in the context of these three scenarios or any combination thereof, right, there's going to be an opportunity for you to choose how you want to approach engaging, right? And so we're saying that the theme for October and what we want to invite you to choose is love. And choosing love is all about the invitation to be a conscious creator in every state of your affairs, in every nook, in every cranny, in every corner, in every threshold, in every valley, in every mountaintop, right? To really consciously be engaging in ways that demonstrate the commitment to what it is that you want to create, right? So choosing love is about surrender. Choosing love is about accountability and responsibility. Choosing love is about integrity and dignity and honor and consistency and alignment. And choosing love as a practice is about recognizing that no matter what the environment may be telling you, that your world is abundant, right? Or no matter what may be going on in certain interactions or certain relationships, that you don't have to be so attached to what it looks like, or you don't have to be so attached to a certain person or a certain company or a certain client or a certain outcome, right? Especially if it's giving you anxiety and stress, right? Choosing love as a practice means that you really recognize that peace and serenity is available to you in every moment, no matter what the situation or what the circumstance. Now, this does not mean you don't handle your business, right? Because we have a commitment and Move the Crowd that you always handle your business. And you can handle your business from a place of love. And you can handle your business from a place of clarity, which is rooted in the loving commitment that you hold as an extension of what it is that you're building and growing and aspiring to achieve and affect in the world, right? So, I love your question at the top, Dana. So what does choosing love have to do with your business and being in business? It means that you do business with people you respect and that you honor, and that who honor you and who are willing to meet you in partnership in the context of what you provide in your products and your services, right? It means that they are people whose journeys you want to support and you feel excited about, right? Because there's nothing worse than suffering through a client. Anybody hear what I'm saying? There is nothing worse than you get the business and it's like your worst nightmare, right? So choosing love in the context of your business also means that your agreements are clear. And I want to say that again because sometimes we get in business and we get in business with people we love and it becomes very informal. Anybody hear what I'm saying? It becomes very loosey-goosey. And the truth is that when we operate in love, we honor clarity and we see clarity as being really important. And so even if it's our bestie, we're setting clear agreements about how the partnership is going to happen and unfold and how the deliverables are going to take place. When we choose love in the context of our business, we deliver on our promise. And if we're not delivering on our promise, we're accountable and responsible for why we're not delivering on our promise. And we're proactive in that communication. And we're willing to own it, and we're willing to clean it up, and we're willing to make it better. Like we're willing to do whatever it takes to preserve the integrity of our own brand and the integrity of the relationship, right? Because business is all about trust, right? And we want to do business with people that we trust and that we love. Is that true? I think that's true, right? So choosing love in the context of our business is also about being really clear about our capacity and where we are in the journey, right? And so, within Move the Crowd, we had this conversation about the growing edge and how we work around what is ripe, R-I-P-E, what is ripe for the picking, what is ripe for the engaging, right? So there is no over-striving in what we have going on. And I raised it because, we talk to entrepreneurs all the time. And there's a lot of wanting to fast forward. You want to go from 5 to like 3 million Twitter followers overnight. Anybody hear what I'm saying? You want to be worldwide on Oprah tomorrow, right? And listen, there's nothing wrong with those aspirations. There's nothing wrong with those desires, right? If it is about supporting you and being of greater service to the planet, then we're also all for it. We're on your team and we're going to help you figure out the strategy in order to make that happen. But there's something about that kind of over-striving that can cause you to not be present and not be honoring of where you are and not be loving with where you are, right? And I'm saying this because I know that everybody out there on some level is doing some form of spiritual work and some form of spiritual engagement, right? And so even with our commitment and even with the practices that we may be engaged in, there are times where we may forget. And unbeknownst to us, we may be choosing anger or hurt or resentment. Anybody hear what I'm saying? Or frustration, right? Or apathy, right? Or resignation. And so there's something about how we stay awake and aware. And part of staying awake and aware is about working on the growing edge. And part of being able to really effectively work on the growing edge is about being present to where you are and about being okay with where you are and choosing to love where you are with the full commitment and the understanding and the knowing of where it is that you're going, right? So for my emergent babies out there, my I Have a Dreamers, right? This is about like making peace with your job. Hello. What does Gabby talk about? My beloved Gabby talks about, this being you're being venture backed and building a dream by having a job, right? And really seeing it as a blessing and a conduit to be able to support where you want to go. And so your job is to rock it out at the job and be in full integrity at the job while you're nurturing your dream. right? And creating a space where you can have those conversations that enable you to bring the dream to life, right? And those structures that enable you to bring the dream to life. And it also means that you're taking consistent action, even if it's just one thing every day, you're taking consistent action that moves you closer to the dream, right? For my established entrepreneurs, these are my show me the monies. You're making peace with your mistakes, right? You're not fretting over what you didn't get right, what you didn't do right, what didn't work out, what didn't happen that you wanted to happen, or what happened that you wish had not happened, right? But you're really asking, how can I right the ship? How can I realign? What are the things that are going to be pivotal for me to support the next level of expansion and growth? And what is it that I need to understand about the business that I'm in and the business that I want to be doing? And how do I choose to lean into my business and actually see everything I've gone through, the failures, the victories, the lessons, the blessings, as a strength, as a strength. And that actually I get to bring more to the party now because of the road that I've traveled, right? If you're an experienced entrepreneur out there, which is an I Believe I Can Flyer, right? This is all about you really celebrating and honoring how far you've come and making peace with your ambition, right? So here is the place where you really want to, and I'm saying this because some of you are incredibly successful at what you do and you're also very comfortable. I'm just going to sip on my tea on that one. You're very comfortable. But underneath there's this incredible ambition. And you know on whatever level that the world stage is calling you because you see yourself impacting millions and millions of people in whatever you're doing, your product, your service, your offering, your experience, right? And so I'm asking you to make peace with your ambition and to actually see it as an expression of your spirit's and your soul's desire to expand and to grow. And in that case, you're really seeking and fostering relationships that are going to support that growth and expansion. And you're developing and engaging in strategies that really take you kind of out of the box. You're willing to be uncomfortable again, kind of like when you were in emergent and you were just getting started and you were just figuring it all out, and like your sort of state of being, your sort of consistent state of being was discomfort, right? But discomfort in a good way because you knew you were like pushing the edges. Well, if you're an experienced and you're in this conversation of growth and expansion, you're going to be experiencing a similar feeling. There'll be another sort of level of growth and discomfort because your soul is wanting to expand outside the box. You're being invited to reinvent your relationship with yourself, to expand your self-perception and how you identify and what you think is possible for you and what you think you're capable of. So you're paying attention to this, and you're paying attention to who are the people in my life that I could collaborate with that would grow me in a way that feels really honoring of what I'm up to in the world. So if you're coming from a place of love, these are the things that you're paying attention to in the context of what you're building, right? These are the things that you're listening for. These are the signs that you're looking for, right? So like whatever's going on in your field, right? I gave you those 3 scenarios. Whatever's going on in your field, you know that the messages you're receiving are perfect. And your job is to see the signs and to bring another level of presence, another level of accountability, and another level of care to whatever it is you have going on, right? To whatever it is that you're wanting to grow within the context of your venture. So this month, we invite you to be in the practice with us of choosing love. It is a vibrant practice. It is an every single moment kind of practice, right? And the invitation, when you have tons of options, be them by intention or by default, is to bring your attention and your intention to the place of love and to choose love above all. Okay, beloveds. So questions about that, comments about that?
Yeah, I don't know about everyone else watching, but I was like, oh my God, Ra's talking just to me because every everything has just, when you really pare it down, and as a semi-frequent overstriver myself, right? We work together. That they're really that it really does come down to love. And if you forget why you love something, why you love doing something so much, it and I almost, this has been a really big crack open for me, and it sort of crept up. I didn't even realize sort of how I was holding some of my work. And I did have that anxiety, and I did have that sort of like, rushing around. And when that shifted, and I could see that finally, and I could just give myself some self-love, right, for seeing it.
That has to happen first.
Right? And be like, ooh, okay, I did that. That's old. Okay. And that's an old pattern. Here it is again. I get, like gratitude for being able to look at it and work on it again, even though I wasn't necessarily expecting that. And then now really knowing, like seeing again, being reconnected with why I love what I do.
Yeah.
And how I show up now to meetings like all past like 4 days. I've showed up to meetings like 15 minutes early without even looking at my clock. Like I had 3 new clients this week. Like everything just shifted. Like the flow came back, and I was like, I missed you, flow. So for all of you out there who may be like tingling listening to all of this about choosing love, I really, it's it is everything.
Yeah.
It does have everything to do with your business.
The lifeblood of your life, and it is the lifeblood of your business. Trust me. Trust.
Yeah.
Yes. Things that are loved grow.
Yeah.
Things that are loved grow. Things that are cared for grow. Things that are given nurturing love and care and attention grow. From the least of these to the greatest thereof, right? Everything that is loved grows.
So I'm restraining myself from tweeting. But I just want to welcome folks. We do have several minutes more together. So questions, please submit them. You can, if you're watching on the website, there should be a little prompt that says join the conversation, and it'll take you through to the Google Plus page. You should be able to ask a question. If you don't have a Google Plus profile set up, that'll be a little more difficult, which is why now we provide you the option of submitting a question beforehand. So we did get a couple of questions. So Rha, let's see, we'll just take this first one from Ali, and I'll let you know that we have about 3 or 4 that came through.
Okay, my love.
So Ali writes, how do I choose love and live in the light when I am fearful of the judgment received from friends and family for doing so?
So part of the question is, what do you think your fans, your friends, and your family love? What do you think they love about you? And I say it that way because, so much of, unfortunately, the societal conditioning has us believe that we have to be a certain thing in order to be loved. And the truth of the matter is, the more that we are ourselves, the more love that we feel, the more love that we are surrounded by. And those who are genuinely committed to us come closer. And those who may be struggling through their own thing, and I really want to say it that way because, though sometimes it feels very personal, it so is not. Right? People are struggling with their own drama and their own hurt and their own agony. Anybody know what I'm saying? Some of us are trying to transform our mothers and fathers, and you know what I'm saying, and are not having much luck, dare I say, right? But the first thing to understand is, particularly when you're coming from a place of love, is to recognize that that's not about you. It has nothing to do with you and who you are or who you're not. And that the truth is, for the people who really love you, they love you. And the more you are, right, which is really about the more love that you embrace, the more that you choose to love yourself, the more that you choose to express love, the more that they're going to want to be near you, the more that they're going to want to engage you, the more that they're going to want to love up on you, right? It's amazing how that works, So I want to invite you to test the water a little bit, Ali, So, if you're sort of consistent way of being is to hold your tongue, hold your tongue, hold your tongue. I want you to gently start to speak your truth. And you're not speaking it from a place of ego or righteousness, right? You're choosing love. So you're speaking it maybe gently. You're speaking it lovingly. You're speaking it compassionately. And you're looking them in the eye and you're engaging them and you're touching them and you're checking in and you're present and you're there. And watch what happens. Watch the way that people respond to you. So that's your assignment, is to play with that this month and see what happens with your friends and your loved ones. I believe if it's authentic and it's true for them, that that you're actually going to become closer. Actually going to come closer. It may surprise you.
Thank you, Rha. I think this next one, I love the simplicity of this next question, and I feel like you were just touching on it. It comes in from Coco, and the question is, how to surrender to love?
Honey girl, just lay down. It's so complicated. Let me tell you something. We fight for our stress and anxiety. We fight for our drama and our trauma. And the truth is, we just put it down, girl. Just drop it. Drop the bags. Let your hair down. Take your clothes off. Let it all hang out. Let it all go. And it really is that simple. I want you to imagine. So, Coco, I'm going to give you a meditation. And for any of you who are also in this conversation of like, how do I surrender? So I want to invite you to lay down on the floor, or if you're more comfortable on the bed, either way. And I want you to just spread your arms, and your legs can be shoulder length apart, and just open up your arms. And I just want to invite you to breathe into your heart. Bring your awareness to your breathing. Bring your awareness to your heart. And as you're doing that, I want you to feel yourself being held. And feel yourself being supported. So if you're laying on the floor, feel yourself being held and supported by the floor. If you're laying in the bed, feel yourself being held and supported by the bed. It's a wonderful practice in surrender and feeling what it feels like to genuinely let go. And your mind may want to be racing and think about this and that and whatever, and you got to get up in 5 minutes and then right, and you just kind of keep inviting that to let go. And let go and let go. And you're really closing your eyes. You're really opening your chest and your heart. You're really letting yourself be held. And I want you to practice that, right? 5 minutes every day. This is a wonderful exercise just before you go to bed, right? Because you're already kind of a little tired, right? You're worn out from the day. But you can just feel yourself relax into being supported and being held. And that moment just before you go to sleep, Wayne Dyer, who I love, his latest book, Wishes Fulfilled, which I love. If you haven't gotten it, please do get it. It's phenomenal. And such appreciation of Wayne and his brilliance. He calls this, now I lay me down to sleep. And he talks about this moment that just before we fall asleep is the place where the divine enters. And it's really our opportunity and our moment to feel God move through us, and to be in the presence of God, or in the presence of spirit or creativity or the universe, whatever you want to call it, right? In the presence of peace, serenity, however you name it. But that is a beautiful place to practice letting go in an intentional way, and to bring your attention to the truth, which is that you are held and that you are supported and that you're cared for. So, Coco, your practice this month in choosing love and surrendering to love is to work with that meditation, work with that ritual, and see what opens up for you. Particularly opening your heart. The part about opening your heart and really relaxing your shoulders and relaxing and allowing your chest to open is so important, because that's really where the love gets to emanate from as you're moving in the day-to-day.
Nice. Thank you. So, Rha, I know we're right at 8, but we've got 2 more questions in the queue. Can we do these 2?
Yeah.
Okay. So this next one comes in from Zerlina. And there's a little bit of background, but the main question here, as I see it, is I wasn't raised or educated with a dialogue of self-love. Okay? How
Mm-hmm.
can someone choose something maybe that they have no frame of reference for? Right? I feel like I have to learn self-love before I can choose it, but where do I start?
Mm-hmm. It's a great question. And for many of us, say her name for me again.
Zerlina.
Zerlina, so beautiful. So Zerlina, for many of us, we weren't born with access to these tools. For many of us, we had to struggle and scrape our way through life, and it was by the grace of God and by the grace of phenomenal people entering our realm that we began to get access, right? Somebody cracked the lid open for us, and we began to get access to the fact that there could be more possible, and even the fact that we could choose, right? So one of the things that I'm going to invite you to do in the realm of practice, like what does choosing feel like, is to slow down. Slow down. So a lot of us get in motion in the day to day, and we kind of have our ritual and our routine. And for a lot of us, we're moving really fast because we got a lot to do, right? We got a lot going on. But it'd be interesting for you to take one day and just slow it down and to observe yourself choosing and to notice what you're choosing and why. And I'm going to ask you, Zerlina, to take a little notebook along with you so that you're actually having the opportunity anytime you get conscious to choice that you're actually logging it. You're writing it down, right? So you're in Starbucks and you are going for the latte, right? The whatever mocha latte, right? Let's say, and you are choosing it, and you're having this whole conversation with the barista about how you want your mocha latte. Observe yourself and notice, where are you choosing from, right? Where are you choosing from? Because we are so much more intentional than we are aware of, right? Our subconscious is choosing. And the aim and the goal and the practice of choosing love this month is to get the conscious mind to start choosing, right? So what happens often is that the conscious mind gets conditioned, right? And then the sort of the instructions of the conditioning drop down into the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is what gets us to operate on automatic pilot. So in slowing down, you actually slow down the communication between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And when you slow it down, you have more room to shift, more room to assess, more space to observe. First and foremost, what are you choosing and why are you choosing it? Are you choosing things that empower you? Are you choosing things that don't make you feel good? And ask yourself why. And this is a careful one, because when we feel like, or when we find ourselves choosing things that don't empower us, the first thing we want to do is beat ourselves up. Anybody hear what I'm saying? We go into anger, or we go into fear, or we go into frustration, or we go into resignation, right? And those are all things that we're choosing, whether we recognize it or not, right? Even when we're doing the work. And so this opportunity to slow down and to lovingly, right, because we're choosing love this month, to lovingly ask yourself, why am I choosing this? If I know it's not good for me, if I know it doesn't feel good, if I know I'm not feeling respected in this relationship, why am I keep coming back? If I know this person is not willing to pay what I'm asking, but they want the world for free, why am I continuing to engage? Y'all hear what I'm saying? Right? And lovingly, gently, carefully ask yourself why. And then listen. Listen. Because you have vital information for yourself when you're willing to slow down and engage your choices from a place of love, unconditional love, right? Versus from a place of judgment. So I hope that's helpful, my love. I hope that's helpful. Please let us know.
I know it was helpful for me. And I know that in my slowing down and noticing what I've been choosing, that I was choosing anxiety. Not that I really wanted to choose anxiety, but I was choosing it, right? And
Yeah,
so you
that's
you
subconscious
can
mind.
choose a partner, you can choose a collaborator, you can choose anxiety.
Yeah, be clear, girlfriend. Be clear,
Right.
right? And your subconscious mind is quick, y'all, because it's been conditioned. So it's like a reflex. You know, somebody throws a ball, you throw up your hands. That's how fast your subconscious mind is. You know, you don't even see it coming. So that's why the coaching is to slow down, because if you slow down, you get a little bit more lead time. You kind of head some things off at the pass
Mhm.
when you slow down.
Yeah. So last question that came in, and we'll sort of I'll be interested to hear how you frame this in our theme for the month, and then I just want to make sure we have a minute or two to just talk about the academy and just the free consults, right, and to let folks know what they have the opportunity to jump into with us. But the last question comes from Angela, and it says, how do you feel about always trying to over prepare before moving forward? It's led to a paralysis on my moving forward. And I guess at the core, sometimes I feel like I could maybe just be more ready.
Uh-huh. So beautiful. So there are two things I would say. One is what I hear, Angela, inside of what you're saying is that you're choosing perfection like you think it exists. So the first thing I want to say, Mama, is there is no such thing as perfection. No such thing as perfection,
Can we just
right?
take a breath on that one for when?
Yeah. So you might wear yourself out there. Right? And I want to encourage and invite you to choose love and not wear yourself out. Right? Now, there is a thing called doing your due diligence, and you do want to do that. And Angela, the question that I would ask you is really like, when you are in those moments when you're at your best, what do you notice that you've given yourself? And it may surprise you to answer that. You may think, oh, it means I've had 50 hours staring at the PowerPoint, right, before I give my presentation. Or you may find out, actually, no, I had a really good night's sleep and I had a good breakfast and I had a conversation with my beloved that made me laugh. And then I walked into the meeting and I really rocked it. And, I remembered some slides and some slides I forgot, but I was present. And I really want to say to you that the goal is not to be perfect, but actually to be present. Because when you're present, that is when perfection has the opportunity to show up. And perfection is really God's grace and the miracles and the magic of opportunity meeting you in the moment, right? The other thing I want to offer up is in this conversation of over preparing, there's a question around trust. And love and trust go hand in hand. So I want you to observe, Angela, can you trust yourself with all you know and all you do? And again, this doesn't mean that you don't do your preparation, right? You don't do your due diligence, but when you feel yourself at a point of driving yourself crazy, and we all kind of know what that looks like, right? Our eyes get blurry and we're rubbing our eyes and we're trying to down coffee or sugar or wine to get through it. Anybody hear what I'm saying, right? We're self-medicating, right, to try to get through it. When you feel yourself kind of at that threshold, I want you to ask yourself, do I trust me? Can I trust me? This is my passion. This is my purpose we're talking about. This is what I love to do. This is who I want to be serving, right? And notice I'm asking and stating all of the things that, like, when we're in alignment, these are the kind of meetings we're going to, right? We're not going to meetings we're dreading. Anybody hear what I'm saying, right? But we're going to meetings where we're excited about it, right? And even when you're in a job that may not be your ideal job or your perfect job and you're bridging your way to your dream, there's still a way that you can hold the love and hold the joy and hold the excitement, because it's really about what you want to show up and what you want to create in that space. And so you get to practice, right? So you're asking yourself, do I trust myself? Can I trust myself to really bring it? I know what I'm about. I know what I'm committed to. I know what I'm dedicated to. And so I want you this month, Angela, with love, to try that. One, get present to what really has you show up and bring your best, and allow yourself to be pleasantly surprised that it isn't what you think it is. And two, that you begin to engage in another level of self-trust, right? Self-love, self-trust. When I love myself, I trust myself. When I trust myself, I engage and invest in the things that allow me to thrive, right? Okay, good luck, my darling.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Miss Ra. So just for you all here as we wrap our time together, like I said, we got juicy questions coming in. We do our best to get them, get them all answered. So thank you to everyone who submitted questions beforehand online and who asked questions here in the interface. Um, next month, the tip, and I'm going to let Rha, you just say a second, say a thing here about our special guest. But so for November 4th, what's our theme for November?
Aha, the theme for November is it Bring It?
Yes.
Dana?
Yes.
Aha.
And we have got a special guest. So we'll be going a little bit longer. We'll be going a full, I believe a full hour, maybe even 90
Yeah,
minutes.
we're going full hour.
Full hour. And we will have the guest Barbara Stanny. Rod, you want to
Yes.
say
So,
something here
so
about her?
here's the deal, right? So 2015 is going to be all about your money. And I want to say it just like that because, we listen to entrepreneurs every day, all day, and we are so serious about your get paid. We're committed to your stay true. We are super committed to your do good. But I want you all to be really, really clear that we are not messing around when it comes to your get paid. And I am so very, very clear that we as a community are begging, calling, screaming out to heal our relationship with money. And I want to speak it that way because, yes, there are going to be the skills and the nuts and the bolts and the things that you need to learn, and we're committed and got your back on that as well. And I also want to say to you that the conversation begins as a conversation of healing. My financial reality did not transform until I was willing to heal my soul, my heart, heal my relationship with having and receiving and allowing more and more love and more light and more prosperity in my life. And Barbara is a goddess. I mean, a goddess when it comes to the conversation of healing your relationship with money. And so Barbara is going to be in the house, and it's going to be a Tuesday as opposed to a Thursday. Am I right, Dana, about that? I want to make sure we get.
Yes. November 4th. And if you go to our site, movethecrowd.me, you'll see up there it says events calendar. Just click through. You'll see November 4th. It's the same way that you signed up for this evening. And you just sign up, give us your email, and then we will give you all of the tips and tools and ways to engage, the link to join us. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a good one.
And we got a new book coming out, so we're going to talk about her new book, which is called Sacred Success. And then we are really queuing you all up because we are going to be joining forces next year, and we're going to be bringing a new program called Show Me the Money. Show me the money, honey. So hopefully you all will be tracking that. Barbara and I are going to talk a little bit about that, as well as all of the other ways that you can get your prosperity on in 2014 and right on into 2015. So please join us next month. It's going to be a hot one.
Oh, sorry, I was muted there, so it's going to be great. You're all welcome to join us. Just another note, if you're watching, if you're watching through the Google Plus interface, and you did get here through our website after you signed up, just notice that we also put up a new tool there, and this is our Lead with Love resource guide. So you can just click through to download it. This is our gift to you. This is it's a wonderful resource guide, and you'll also get a free e-course that goes along with it. to really help you use the guide. And so many of the principles and ideas that Rha talked about this evening will be, in that resource guide. And there's sort of some tips and tools for you to like really break it down and get into the work. I also invite you all to, watch this. I know I will watch this tip again. It will be up on our blog tomorrow. And lastly, our academy,
Yeah.
our academy registration is open. We've just added some more amazing entrepreneurs from the mastermind just this past weekend, and folks who are up to some phenomenal culture shifting ventures, different levels, all different levels of business and entrepreneurs that we serve. And you are so welcome to join us. And you can try us out, right, with a free consult. This is 30 minutes, though they tend to go a little bit longer than 30 minutes. We'll just be honest here, right? Our coaches like to give. And it's their best thinking inside of your venture, right? Yeah. So you have nothing to lose by having a dope conversation with an expert coach who wants to have your back, even if it's just for those 30 to 45 minutes. You can sign up for that free consult by going to our website, movethecrowd.me. There'll be a little get started button. Just click through and you can read about the academy, what we offer. If you're not even sure if it's yet right for you, just try us out.
Yeah, because I think we've got a couple slots left for this cycle, and I want to correct myself too, Dana, because I cheated and I looked while we were going, and it's actually November's theme is actually do good.
Ooh, yes, you are so right.
Why I was thinking bring it, because inside of the conversation for me about do good is we're going to talk about courage. Woo, y'all. Yes. So money and courage are huge themes for 2015. So I just want to say you're going to hear that over and over again. We're really going to be teaching. And Gabby and I are conspiring about part 2 around courage. I just want to name that. And Barbara and I are conspiring around the show me the money. So you guys are just buckle your seatbelts. That's all I want to say. But back to the academy. So there are a couple slots I think that are still available in this cycle. And here's what I would say to you about the consult and about the potential to really lean in. Part of choosing love is also about allowing yourself to be supported. And I find that often those of us who struggle with being supported, struggle with being loved. Anybody hear what I'm saying? And sort of, again, feel like we got to do so many things in order to get love or receive love. And so the practice of receiving love is something that we don't have a lot of muscle around. And I do want to say to you that the experience of participating in our academy is all about allowing yourself to be loved, because we love you. I mean, we love you like nobody's business, and we hold your venture with the same level of commitment that you hold your venture. And so if you know that you're looking to be supported, you want to be supported, you've got some concerns, or you've got some questions, or you're trying to figure it out, I want to urge you to take advantage of the free strategy session. And I want to urge you to take the lead, particularly in this month of love, and to let us love up on you. I promise you, if you're willing to be supported and engaged and held in that way, that what you're up to and your experience of what you're up to is going to transform and only go to greater heights and greater levels. So, again, if you feel so moved, please feel free to reach out. We'd love to engage you.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Rha.
Yeah.
And so with that, I feel like we could just keep going, but we are going to cut. Because I know you've got plans with your beloved. I got plans with my beloved. We're going to go choose love.
Exactly. We're going to go share the love. You better believe it.
That's right. So I love you, Rha. Thank you. I love you all for joining. Thank you. And you can find us again next month.
Yeah, we look forward to you all. Thank you so much for your questions. Thank you so much for your work, your commitment, your dedication. Stay with us. It's our honor and a privilege to serve you. Big hug. Yeah.